Most popular music is made using the two most common Western scales, the major and the natural minor. So the best way to make your melody stand out is to use a non-Western scale, like the one we're going to reveal in this video. But first, tape.
Revolutionary music makers, I'm Kate Harmony, this is Ray Harmony, and welcome to Hack Music Theory.
This channel helps you make great music that stands out so you can move and grow your audience.
And if you're new to our channel, we've got a free book for you which you can download at the link below.
Alright, it's time to open your door to Hack Music Theory. The Theory.
Italian-Iranian crossover group NAVA just dropped their new Persian-inspired electronic track, Ritual. This song jumps out at you from the hundreds of new releases because those were made using the major or minor scale, whereas this song was made using a non-Western scale. This scale is common in the traditional music of many non-Western countries, like Iran and India, but it's exceptionally rare in the West.
When we do use this scale though, we call it the Phrygian dominant or Phrygian major, but it has many non-Western names that predate these.
Now, there's a couple of characteristics that make this scale sound exotic to us, which we'll get to in a minute, but the main characteristic is the combination of the flat 2 and the 3. For example, in C Phrygian dominant, to get that exotic sound, you need to play the flat 2, which is D flat, the 3, which is E, and obviously the root, which is C. On the other hand, if you want a melody that stands out but does not sound exotic like this one does, then change the chord onto the D flat in your melody to a B flat minor, for example, like this. This results in your listeners not hearing the D flat as a dissonant flat 2, but instead as a beautiful flat 3 in the context of that B flat minor chord.
Yeah, this is actually the method we used in last week's lesson about grime bass lines. So we'll stick that video at the end of this one, then you can learn how to use the Phrygian dominant in a Western style. You're gonna love how versatile the scale is.
The hack.
Alright, now you're going to learn how to use this theory to make your own version, and what you see on the screen right now is our version that we made earlier. So start by setting up 2 bars of 4/4 with your grid set to 16th notes and your tempo set to 120 BPM. NAVA uses C Phrygian dominant, so we'll use it too.
Step 1. The scale.
So, what notes are in this exotic scale? Well, in C Phrygian dominant, the notes are C, D flat, E, F, G, A flat, and B flat. Now, as we mentioned earlier, there's a couple reasons this scale sounds exotic to Western ears. Firstly, there's a super rare 3 semitone interval between adjacent degrees of the scale, right here between the D flat and E, whereas in the standard Western scales and modes, there's usually 1 or 2 semitones between the degrees. And secondly, the Phrygian dominant has a flat 2, which only occurs twice in the Western modes, in Phrygian and in Locrian, so that's already rare, but that's only half the story. Both Phrygian and Locrian are minor as they contain a flat 3, whereas Phrygian dominant is major as it contains a 3. And as you now know, that magic combination of flat 2 and 3 is exactly what makes the scale sound so exotic.
Step 2. Melody.
Right, now that you're familiar with this exotic scale, it's time to use it to write your melody. So start your first phrase by playing the root note C to establish the home, then play around with all those beautiful semitone steps that naturally occur in this scale. In other words, C to D flat, E to F, and G to A flat. And for your melody's second phrase, start on the root note again, but an octave higher this time for variation and to extend your melody's range. Then cascade down through the scale, perhaps ending with that exotic combo of flat 2 and 3.
And for the rhythm of your melody, use a wide variety of note values to keep it fresh. And don't be scared to throw in a 30-second note for some extra spice.
And if you need more help writing melodies, then use the melody checklist in our songwriting and producing PDF. It's the ultimate list of do's and don'ts for writing great melodies. The link is below.
And lastly, for maximum exoticness, we're playing our melody over a bass line that's inspired by a drone, which is when you play one note continuously.
For extra interest though, we added some other notes to our bass line, and if you want to check out what we did in our bass as well as all the other tracks, then download our lesson pack, which includes the multi-track MIDI file, a PDF guide, and final WAV. The link is below.
Alright, now let's have a listen to our exotic melody. But just before the final playthrough, if there's an artist you'd like us to hack, let us know in the comments below.
And remember, if you want to learn how to use the Phrygian dominant scale in a Western style, then keep watching because we've got a video on that coming next. Just click it when it pops up in a few seconds and we'll meet you there.